Okay, in this video, I want to talk about all the reasons that would cause steepness in the downswing. And as you know, if we come down too steep, it's going to create a lot of issues at impact, a lot of compensations needed in order to control the ball flight and hit our target. Okay, so what are the things that would cause us to get steep in the downswing? Well, first of all, the open club face, either caused by a weak grip or some rolling action in your takeaway or cup at the top of your swing. Even in transition, if you go into some cup, that's going to get the face open. Face open is a key problem that you have to change. If you have an open face, it's going to cause a steep downswing. Why is that? Well, if I get the face open, either because of weak grip or some rolling and some cupping, I sense that the face is open, and then I really have to try hard to get it back to square. Okay, so I have to do everything in my power with my hands and arms, because if I pivoted it in shallowed, you could see the face would be really open. So I'm not really allowed to pivot in shallow. I have to release early. I have to slow down my body in order to square that club face up. Okay, so open face is a killer. You got to learn to control the club face. Now, the next thing is lack of depth or not getting everything behind you enough. All right. As you go back, if you're here with your left arm, let's say, so if you dropped a straight line down from the butt of the club, it'd be on my toes. So that is not behind. That's a really upright backswing. For you to hit from the inside from here, you'd have to loop hands and butt end of the club back to the inside. Now the downswing is a third of a second. You don't want to develop this kind of looping action. So from here, it's typically going to cause a steeper downswing. So what you got to do is get everything more behind you. All right, the key for that is just making a good turn, get things behind. We don't want to get it too far behind and we lose posture. We just want to create some depth so those hands, the butt of the club gets somewhat behind. That would make it easier for you to come down and shallow the club. So we'd have a chance here to come down more from the inside. Okay, so lack of depth is a a major fault there that would make it difficult to shallow the club. It would create a steeper angle of attack into the ball. Now, the next thing that I see players do is that they don't have separation in the downswing. What do I mean by separation? I'm talking about the movement of the hips relative to the chest. So if I separate in the downswing, my hips are going to rotate a split second before my shoulders. So what that does is it creates a little stretch at the core before my chest fires, and I can fire that chest a little faster after I create some separation. So if I get to the top of the swing, and from here, I don't create any separation, so my shoulders rotate as fast as my hips rotate. So my shoulders and hips rotate at the same time, same speed. You can see where my hands go. My hands are going to go out. I'm going to get everything out above pure plane here, and then I'm coming down steep. Now, on the flip side, if I create some separation where my hips go first, my shoulders trail, you can see my hands have some room, some time to drop down. They come down on like an angle here, but they're able to drop more down before they go out at the ball. I have a chance to shallow and hit from the inside, okay? So lack of separation can also create steepness on the way down. Now, this right arm's a big key too. This is another reason why you would get steep in the downswing. So if you get to the top of your swing and your right arm starts to go like this is called internal rotation. This right arm going internal, and usually happens when you create some pull down. You can see how I'm going to pull down quickly. My right arm goes like this. It's kind of like I'm in the process of actually throwing. So if that happens on the downswing, you can see how that shaft's going to get real steep. So what you want instead is more of an externally rotating trail arm, or just a right arm that doesn't go internal. So a right arm that just stays where it is. I create some separation and I'm able to drop it down in shallow. So we can't have this right arm going internal. Now, the last one I want to mention is speed. If you're the type of player that just wants to just gun it from the top and just trying to create speed with that quick pull down, hands and arms, just a lot of effort there at the top. What typically happens is what I just showed you, is that right arm goes internal, and you can see when I pull down on this club, wherever it is, if it's here, pull down, over there, pull down, it causes this steep shaft. And so if you got to the top and everything looked great at the top, and all you did was just try to fire down with a lot of speed using your hands, arms, that's going to create a steep shaft. So what you have to do instead is create a great backswing, following a lot of the good principles or fundamentals. And then from there, learn to use your lower body, learn to use your body more, and allowing that to create some speed. So the hands and arms are playing more of a passive role in transition. Things should be able to shallow out better, so you're not going to come down as steep. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify that. Some of the reasons that you would get steep in the downswing. Using pure playing would be a great training aid to help you, give you some feedback while you're working on trying to shallow and hit from the inside. So you can see I have a setup here. The ball is opposite the butt of the club. And so I have the hosel through pure plane there, the channel of pure plane. So I got the club extending, and then I have it towards the target, parallel to the alignment stick. Ball's opposite the butt of the club. The ball is in line with this alignment stick. So I kind of have this nice visual here where I'm going to try to hit shots and just stay underneath pure plane. So in backswing, I'm close to pure plane as I go up. And then as I come down, I'm underneath or further away from pure plane. Okay, so I got to do some of those things, or I can't do some of those things that I mentioned in this video. If I did, I'm coming down above pure plane. All right, so let me recap quickly. If I go open club face going back, I'm going to really try hard to square it. I'm coming over. If I go really upright, no depth, I'm probably going to come down steeper. Okay, and if I go back and then my right arm goes more internal, you can see how it's going to throw the club down. Or if I pull down and I'm close to the plane, see how I'm still real steep with the shaft. Okay, so we don't want this right arm going internal. We also don't want to just fire it down with a lot of speed from the hands and arms. All right, so we need to stay underneath. We need to take this club back with a square face. We need to create some depth. We need to have some separation in transition. Right arm either stays in this position or goes more external. And then we're also leaving the hands up there. We're not throwing it down as we start to pivot through and hit more from the inside. So I hope this helps you guys just understand a little bit more about why you would get steep and some of the keys there to improve your downswing and prevent your swing from getting steep. And I just showed you a great way to use pure plane when you practice. So in this setup, you're just basically hitting shots and just trying to avoid it. You don't want to go like way inside to avoid it in backswing. You're like close by, and then you come down. If you need to go a little bit inside, more inside, just to be a little more comfortable at the beginning, that's fine. But then when you're ready, go a little closer. But you don't need to go closer to the golf club here. You can stay in line with that alignment stick right there. Okay, so the base is like club head width outside the golf ball. And so remember, we're going back close to pure plane, and then we can come down and avoid it. So you go real slow going back, come down underneath, and go ahead and hit the shot. Real slow, guys, real slow, because we don't want you to come down, crash into it. We want you to develop that feeling of shallowing and getting feedback that we're underneath, we're in a good spot, shallowing, hitting from the inside. Okay, so I hope that helps you guys understand a little bit more about why you would get steep and some of the things, some of the fundamentals that help you shallow and hit from the inside.